Yo, what's up everybody, Nice with you here, bringing you Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaibe anime review. This was episode 13, titled Something More Important Than Life. This was a very, very good episode. It wasn't just battle heavy, but it was emotional too. And you know a story is going to be able to tell a great story when they make you feel bad for the enemy. Cause that many stories can bring you an enemy that you be like, oh, he's cool, and then later on you can feel bad for him, or you end up start to liking him. And we have Tanjiro continuing his fight with the drum demon, which we learned his name is Kagi, and basically he got kind of upset at something that Tanjiro said, because Tanjiro told him, no matter what you do, I'm not gonna give up until I defeat you. And when he heard the words, I'm not gonna give up, that kind of triggered like an old memory of him when he was a human. So he got real upset, and he went into like this mode called drum speed mode. I'm probably butchering the name, but basically like he all his hands, he's swinging them at randomly on all the drums, and he was doing it at high speed, and he was just mixing up the place. And when this was going on, he has Zenitsu and the kid that he's protecting, they actually got kicked outside. And Boreface, we didn't really get to see him yet at this moment, but then after that we switched over to back to Tanjiro and the drum demon Kagi fighting. And Tanjiro was like, even though I'm hurt and I have a lot of spirit, I need more than spirit to beat this high level demon. I'm going to need to learn how to use my brain and get stronger. And he started to thinking, and he started examining like the area and stuff, like the scent, how it looks, and he started to realize the pattern better, and he was able to dodge more frequently. And the demon, his claw, instead of becoming a 3-claw strike, it actually became a whole 5-claw strike. But Tanjiro was able to dodge it, and Tanjiro was able to get in there and land the finishing blow. And then Tanjiro was like, before he finished, the finished blow, he told the demon, your demon art's actually pretty incredible. And he started to like cry, and we get his backstory. And in his backstory we see his human self, and his human self was a writer, but there was somebody in this guy's flashback that was like just down talking him really bad, saying some terrible things, saying you're not a good writer, all you do is stay stuck in here writing, you play with your tambourine, you need to go out and do more, you're a failure as a writer, you're boring, you should stop it, stuff like that. Just really negative. Now I'm not sure who this person was in this demon's flashback, but this person, for knocking him down so much, this is when Kagi got just so upset and he fell into depravity, and he actually became a demon. And that guy was actually his first victim. He actually tapped the drum in his chest and caught him. And Tanjiro saying, I'm not gonna give up. And we had this one moment that was important where Tanjiro was falling on off the floor, but there's a whole bunch of paper on the floor, and he caught himself to step on the spots that there was no paper, because he saw the paper, and the demon was like, oh wow, you didn't step on my paper, like the guy in my flashback, which they didn't say who that guy in the flashback was. I'm assuming that was his father. I could be wrong. For those that are manga readers, tell me if the manga specified who that person was in Kagi's flashback. Was that his father, an uncle, a relative, whatever, or his writer? I mean, not what you call that, the people that the writer has to report to, I forget what you call that, but his intake or whatever. Like, who was that guy? Because we didn't get to know who that human was that was bashing him. All we know is that because of him, he fell into depravity, and that's the first person he killed. But after that, he asked Tanjiro, hey kid, truly, was my demon blood art amazing? And he was like, yeah, it was cool, it was great. But unfortunately, I can't forgive people like you who kill randomly humans. And the demon, as you see in one of my thumbnails, started to cry, and he was like, shocked that somebody finally, gave him a pat on the back. Because, that's all he wanted in his human life, is to feel useful and to be praised. But the person that he was with never did that, so he fell into depravity, which falling into depression is actually, or depravity, however you want to word it out, is actually one of the ways to turn into a demon that I noticed so far in the story. But then after this happens, something cool pops up. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's thinking of this, but I started thinking of Monster Hunter because we see that Tanjiro has a knife that was made by Yashiro, and basically what the knife does is that anyone he stabs, it's like a syringe, and when he stabs them or cut them, it absorbs the blood. So he took some blood sample of that demon, and he grabbed it, and he was like, wow, this is a pretty interesting knife. And the instant he said that, we heard a meow, and we see this cat pulls up behind him. And there's a very, very cute cat, and it has like this really weird marking on it, like this weird symbol. And the cat started to meow, and it has like a backpack, and he puts the needle in there, and the cat just disappears off into the night to deliver that back to the doctor. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but I started thinking of Monster Hunter. Maybe it's just me. I'm not sure if y'all started thinking about Monster Hunter, but that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I see this cat came to get like that sample to receive it back. I started thinking of Monster Hunter, the cat's in there. So anyone who's a Monster Hunter fan like myself, that was pretty cool to see that. But Tanjiro eventually ends up finding the brother and the sister, and he's trying to find the other brother and sister, the other brother and Zenitsu. And he started to smell blood, and he went to the trail which led him outside. And this is when the episode gets very, very interesting and even more sad. We see Zenitsu actually being very useful, and he's protecting the box that Tanjiro told him that was more important than my life. And you have to remember, Tanjiro did say the box was more important than his life, but he told that to the little kid. He did not tell that to Zenitsu. And we have the boar face just stomping on him saying, I need to destroy that box. There's a demon in there, let it go. If you don't want to fight me one-on-one, I'm going to have to take both of you out. And then we get like a flashback of what happened a couple of minutes beforehand, when Zenitsu and the kid was thrown out the house because of all the shifting. And at that same time, Boarface escaped on his own, and he saw the demon box, which has Tanjiro's sister sleeping in there, and he was going to destroy it. And then we get something very, very interesting about Zenitsu. He states that he can hear all things. So you know how our main character Tanjiro, he can smell everything, and he's really, really good with smelling. Whereas Zenitsu is the opposite. He's good with hearing, and that's how he was able to hear Tanjiro say that box was more important. And we also found out that he knew that in that box was a demon, but because of how Tanjiro was protecting it and how his heartbeat was so mellow and different than any other living creature he has met up to this point of his life, he was like, I'm going to trust in you and not attack that box or get away from it. So that was very, really good character development on Zenitsu's part, especially seeing how he's protecting that box with his life, and he's not being this useless coward, and he's finally stepping up to the plate and doing something for the story. So I know I was kind of bashing him the last two episodes, but this episode kind of made me regret what I said, and I'm liking him more, and I'm pretty appreciative of what he has done. But him doing this, he's getting real beat up, and he has like blood bruises and his eyes swollen and stuff like that. And we have the other brother, the little one, in the corner crying, seeing this fight going between them. And we also find out, thanks to Zenitsu, that the Boarface was actually one of the participants of the Demon Slayer tournament. And he wasn't just one of the participants. He was actually the first one who went into the mountain, succeeded, came out first, and just grabbed his material and dipped. So it wasn't 4 people that passed out of the 20-something. It was actually 5. Which is still very low, but very interesting to see that there was another person that passed. And Boarface was that person. Now, what we need to know is that since Boarface has a sword technique called self-taught technique, we need to know what's interesting about him. Because we know that everybody with this techniques has different abilities. Tanjiro and his teacher had really good sense of smell. Zenitsu is really good with hearing. So what does Boarface have? And what is Boarface's name? Because we haven't got his name yet. Everybody's just been calling him Boarface or Scary Man. There's been nicknames for him, but we haven't really got his name yet. So I'm gonna keep calling him Boarface until we get his name. But I wonder what interesting human ability he has. And I'm loving all the different concepts and abilities that everyone have. And I also wonder if you have a certain ability, that tell you what element you have. Like Tanjiro and his teacher, since they both go with smell and they have water techniques, does that mean that every single human who's good with smell have only straight water element? And does that mean Zenitsu, who's someone who's good with hearing, does everyone with good hearing has thunder techniques? Just thought I'd bring that to the table. Again, I'm a anime only. I do not read the manga / light novel if there is one for it, so if I'm getting names mixed up or things mixed up, forgive me. But just let me know down below, is that the case? Everyone with good hearing is lightning based and everyone with good smell is thunder based, water based. I just thought, that's probably something to include into the story. Because like I said, Tanjiro and his teacher are both good with smell and they got water elements on their swords. So maybe Zenitsu, who has thunder element, since he's good at hearing, maybe everyone who's good at hearing has the same element. Just thought I'd bring it to the table. And yeah, this was a really great episode. Episode 13 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaibe. If you have not caught up, I urge you to catch up. Really great stuff is going down. Love it a lot. Can't wait for next week. But that's all I have for you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your family and friends. Give this video a like. Follow me on Twitter, link down below. Tell me your thoughts and comments and opinions. But that's all I have for you guys. Peace out and have a good one.